Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Extra Lab podcast. Today, we're extremely lucky enough to have with us Cade Flatt. Cade, how are you today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Cade, you're on your sophomore season at Ole Miss. A lot of exciting racing so far, and but we're gonna start a little farther back. We'll start in high school. Obviously you put together quite a phenomenal career running 146. You were a mid 40s guy in the 400. So can you take us through that a little bit? Just
Yeah. High school was a good time for me in senior year, really turned it up a notch. And yeah, I had a lot of opportunities and a lot of great races. I think a lot of that just came from a mindset that I developed over the course of, my career. And yeah, that's kind of where we leave off now. But
definitely,
yeah, the high school was great. High school was great.
definitely. And like throughout your training, was there like a staple workout you did or do now that is just what it works right for you?
No, not really. Not a staple workout. I would say a lot of my training and like my mindset and stuff on in philosophy or whatever is like I really like getting to the line pretty fresh. I work hard, but it comes to a point where I think a lot of people overthink the 800 and run too many miles, and like I just can't wrap my head around that. I question a lot of stuff, and yeah, I just do me, and I'm not worried about what everybody else can do, or if he ran this workout this way. Nothing matters. We're running 800 meters. It's not too complicated, and we're gonna find out when we get on the line. But
Mhm,
yeah, I really keep things pretty simple, and I keep things pretty short. I don't run a lot, so
mhm.
yeah, that's pretty much it though.
And like once you get to like a runner like your level or your caliber, and you get to that 800, it's a lot of like tactics. So what's your best advice to someone who runs 800?
Man, I don't know. I really just go out there and I don't focus on anything but, my own race. Like that's the way I ran in high school. That's the way I like running now.
Mhm,
Last year had a little mishap and didn't really get to run that way, but this year back again, I like being out in the front. I like being able to dictate and running my race.
mhm,
I don't like it running anybody else's race. I don't like putting it in somebody else's hands to dictate what I run, whether what I go through in that first lap or that first 200. So yeah, I just kind of do my own thing, and I worry about winning. I'm not focused on tactics or hanging on or
mhm.
sitting and kicking. I'm just thinking about winning. How can I win this race? So yeah, that's really what I'm thinking.
So in an 800 where like the lactic's built up, it's like a drawn out sprint. How do you stay in it mentally? Like what are you telling yourself? How do you
Uh, Through training. Training prepares you for that, and I think a lot of time for to go through an 800 successfully, you have to feel that 800 in practice, and even worse, it's like high school reference. I had that deep waters quote. That's how I trained every day.
Mhm,
Every week after week, just I was going to those places, and those workouts were hard and they were crucial. But when I get to that race, the 800 is, my opinion, the hardest race or one of the most painful races because all that lactic comes in.
mhm.
If you've been there 1,000 times before, you're almost looking forward to it. It's like I've been here before. I've been the worst. I've had workouts hurt worse than this race. And so that's how I get comfortable with it, I guess.
Definitely. And before you step on the line, is there like a go-to pre-race meal or?
Um, I'd say go to pre-race meal. I do spaghetti and I'll, meat sauce, marinara sauce, whatever, and I'll put chicken on it. So
Definitely.
spaghetti topped with chicken is kind of my pre-race meal.
That's
But
that's good to go to right there. I feel like that's
yeah, yeah.
go-to carbo meal, little spaghetti.
Uh-huh. I'd prefer meatballs on the spaghetti, but it's racing. I like eating, chicken's a little cleaner than beef, so
Mhm.
I'll do that. So
Definitely. And as you're running now, you're in your second year at Ole Miss. So what was the recruitment process like going there?
The recruitment process was kind of different. I was recruited by a coach who isn't the coach we have now. And so I was already committed here when Coach Smitty, Adam Smith, he came along. And yeah, things have been great ever since. But recruiting process, I really just liked Oxford. I really liked where it is. Uh, you know, I'm from Kentucky. I'm from Western Kentucky. It's about 3.5 hours down the road. It's an SEC school, and mid distance guys like myself thrive pretty well down here. So, um, Yeah, and I like the city. It's a small town. We're dealing with a lot of snow and ice for the first time in a while. Kind of been locked in my house all week, but yeah. So yeah, I liked everything about it.
Definitely. And I think for a lot of runners, it's all about, trying to make their stamp in history. And for you, you're a runner at Ole Miss, Mario Garcia Roma, Craig Ingles. It's a historic program. So what are your
Mhm.
goals to make that mark?
Man, I just want to be the best I can be. I just want to work hard and I just want to make a legacy, beyond myself. For my family, for everything to come in the future. And, I really just want to be the best I can be. I'm not really too focused on a legacy
Mhm.
for anything other than just, being the best I can be and we're going to let it shake out, So, yeah.
Definitely. And do you have any like particular advice for someone who like, is caught up in what everyone else is doing and they lose focus on themselves a little bit?
At the end of the day, man, I guess just do you, just be yourself. Like I've never been afraid to say something that people didn't agree with, or say something that people agree with.
Mhm.
It comes hand in hand. I speak. I'm pretty open on social media and pretty open when it comes to interviews and about how I feel on certain things. And yeah, I mean, what other people say doesn't bother me. So
Definitely.
I guess it's that, man. Don't pay attention to anybody else.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter.
I think at least looking through your like profile and looking at everything, I think one image that sticks out is a certain image of stress fractures from last year. And
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it was a like a break. It was a real bad ankle sprain,
Mhm.
but I had about two breaks from that. So I was like a broken ankle and we didn't really know what was going on
Mhm.
with it. But yeah, it sucked. It was I did it the week before my first race last year and yeah, put some damage on my season last year, but yeah, we're healthy now and everything's all right.
So what is like, I mean, I think it was a big like statement race you just had. You ran 117 in the 600, which is crazy good racing. It's kind of a I'm back race. So how is it just like coming back from injury, knowing I'm back, I'm ready to compete again and be the best version of myself again?
Yeah, man. We did a lot of great things in the fall too, to build this up, and we did a time trial in the fall, and everything it was a lot faster than 117. But really just having that rust buster there. It's been so long. It's been a year or two before since I've really been in a race where I can control it and be in winning contention. So like, I was really just trying to get used to that and get used to that, sprint going out and winning from the front and racing like how I like to race. Not worried about anybody else's game plan, but just getting that familiar feeling back again. For eventually I got at 800 this weekend actually. So
Mhm.
yeah, just knocking some rust off and getting back used to crossing that line first.
Definitely. Where are you racing at this weekend?
Arkansas.
There you go. Good. That's a really good facility right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And coming from high school and college, what's been the biggest difference in training?
Um, Biggest difference. We switched a lot. We switched some things up last year between my high school and college training. It was a lot different.
Mhm.
This year it's pretty similar to what I was doing in high school.
Mhm.
Not exactly. I guess the biggest difference is we kind of just added more strength. I was always more of a speed guy and real low mileage. I'm in high school, 5, 6 miles a week, and now we just added a little bit more strength through workouts, and
Mhm.
that's where I've seen a lot of growth. Coming in last year and even this fall and stuff, like I wasn't able to do a lot of the workouts that a lot of the other guys were doing.
Mhm.
Um, Not because I wasn't as fast in the 800 or in a 600 or whatever, but just there comes to a point where that tank, I can run 800 meters, but I can't run a mile as fast as some of these guys, for
Mhm.
instance. So yeah, and I've gotten really used to that, and it's just grown up. I'd say it's just kind of matured and a lot more strength. So yeah.
Definitely. And back like doing 5 to 10 miles a week, how's that built? Like, what's a weekly structure look like for that?
5, 10 miles a week. See, in high school, it was I would have a strength day on Monday. I wouldn't do distance runs, and that strength day would be, like 800s or 8 600s or something along that lines. And so we do that, 400s, whatever. We do that on Mondays. Tuesday would be a speed day, so really just like pure speed. Wednesday would be workout, and
Mhm.
then typically an 800 stuff, two 300s, 150s, whatever. And then Thursday would normally be off. Friday would be a speed day,
Mhm.
like Tuesday was, and then Saturday would be another workout, and then Sunday off. Training similar, structured similarly now,
Mhm.
kind of the same. So, yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Mhm. And like out of all the workouts have you done, has one of them just stood out to you? Like, has there been a particular one that's just
I had a really good one Friday.
Mhm.
Um, Last Friday. That was good, and I was really happy with it just because it was a more of a strength based workout, but there was some speed that kind of thrown on the end of it. And so getting through that and being able to come through like I did with the paces and stuff, I was real happy with myself, and just seeing that growth over time is what I look forward to. And it's
Mhm.
been a real hard, long, year, 2 years, whatever, however long it's been.
Mhm.
Since coming here and since last January, I guess. So it's been a year. So just seeing progress, still seeing progress, and getting back on my feet, literally and metaphorically, is really nice. So I'm just ready to open up and get this ball rolling again.
Definitely. And like I feel like the 800 is kind of I wouldn't say an awkward event, but like it's between, distance and just more like sprinting. So have
Mhm.
you ever given like a 1K or a mile ever a thought or
I haven't given a 1K a thought. I know when I was being recruited, a lot of schools were recruiting me my junior year to be a miler. And that was when my training was a little more mile oriented. And then my senior year, of course, I just said, "Hey, I'm going to the 400. I'm going 4 and 8." So that's kind of still where I'm at right now. But I've thought a little bit, maybe just throwing it, getting in a mile just to see what I can run.
Mhm.
And not transitioning to the mile,
Yeah,
but
just as
yeah,
like
I don't know, especially with a 1K too. I think that'd be all right. I think
Mhm.
I'd favor a 6, but just to see, sure. I am curious to what I can run in 1K right now.
Mhm. Definitely. And like what do you think you would estimate? It's a weird question in a mile. What do you think you could be around?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what I'd. I don't know what I'd. Hmm.
It's a tough
Four.
question.
We'll go sub 410 for right now for
Mhm.
sure. Off what I'm
I like
doing,
that. I like that. I
I'd
mean,
go sub 410. I'm not going to go too bold with it because I mean, and I don't know. I don't.
I know
I
you
ran
never
412
know.
in high school. I ran 412 in high school once in a 1600. So yeah, I'm sub 410. We'll say that.
How is that? Like, I always wonder, like, mostly, doing 5 to 10 miles a week and then going to a mile, was it weird going to the third lap, fourth lap, or?
It's my mild take is that it's just how fast can you run an 800 tired, and that's why I don't like it.
Mhm.
Uh, it's just kind of odd. You go out and I like running fast. I like feeling like I'm running fast. I like feeling a little danger, a little like, hey, how long we're gonna be able to hold this up for?
Mhm.
That's what an 800 is. That's what a 400 is. A mile, you don't feel that till the third lap, ish. And so I just don't like going out that slow and having that race. You having to stay in that race so long and
Yeah.
just hold position and stuff. I like really racing, and so
This,
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of odd.
all right, this might be a more better question then. What do you think you could run a 100 in?
Yeah,
That one's different.
yeah. I don't know. I ran one. I ran 11. I ran 11:14 in high school.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really don't know what I'd
Hey, that's
estimate
good
now.
running. That's good running.
I don't know what I'd run now. Somewhere along those lines, a little faster, hopefully, but yeah, somewhere along those lines.
Definitely. And like, you said it yourself, you're into like speed, like that feeling of just running fast. So
Hmm.
like, do you prefer like 150s, for example, than like 8x800
A
or
thousand percent. Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
million
I
percent?
prefer the shorter stuff with faster paces but shorter rest. Like 200 short rest, 150s short rest. I like that stuff. It makes me feel good.
Definitely. And like,
That's
as
how an 800's ran. I think people overthink it. Like, yeah, you can do 8 by 800 as a workout for an 800 guy, but like you're running 800 meters once. Start breaking it down a little more. Run even like 200s is perfect, and I think that's why there's so many 800 guys do 200s and workouts and stuff because it's like broken down 800.
Mhm.
If you're running 800, why do 8 by 800
Yeah,
at unless you're just getting in like I would or like I do like a strength day, like just a 5K pace ish, whatever can feel good just to get some movement in. But if you're like ripping 8 by 800, why?
there's
That's
no
my
point.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like throughout your career thus far, has there been a favorite memory or
Man, favorite memory. See, I got a couple. And one is I was in seventh grade and I was running up for the varsity team, and
Mhm.
I was anchoring their 4 by 8, which was a big honor for me. I was a seventh grader and everything, and at the regional meet, and we were about 100 meters behind or so, 110 meters behind, and I came through in the baton. I was the anchor,
Mhm.
and came through, and it was me and three other seniors, and came through, ended up passing that guy, and then it was two other people or whatever, and they were right. The last 100, they were kind of right beside each other, and I
Mhm.
split them like at the very last like 10 meters or so, and it was the first time I like split 159 or
Yeah.
broke two, and won the meet, and we won regionals and in that race and stuff, and that was really sick for me. And then of course New Balance Nationals indoors, that was awesome, and Eugene in for Worlds was sick too.
Mhm.
So I guess those three experiences, I guess, are my favorite memories. But yeah, that seventh grade one at regionals will always kind of hold a special. That was the first one.
Definitely. It sounds like a sick moment right there.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
And as an 800 meter runner, I feel like the recovery would be have to be pretty intense. So how does that go? How do you recover? Do you have a favorite stretch or, you know?
No, I don't really have a favorite stretch. I just make sure I'm doing things right, and really the how I a big part of recovering is training right. Right,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't train right. A lot of people will see how many times they can bash their head into the wall. Is what I like to call it, and get the workouts in, get good quality workouts in, but realize that the workouts aren't as important as the races. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to hammer this workout and hammer this run, and I'm not going to take my off day. I'm going to go and do this or whatnot. And sometimes that's great. It's great to push yourself, but know when to. Just be smart. But yeah, my big part of my recovery is I train pretty smart, and yeah, of course, I eat right. Diet's pretty important to me before workouts and after workouts. And I'm hydrating all the time. But yeah, just my main thing is training smart. That's my biggest recovery tip.
Definitely. And Cade, my last question I got for you is if you were not to be a runner, what sport would you do?
If I was not to be a runner, what sport I would do? I think in high school, I would have focused more on football.
I knew you were gonna say that too. I don't know
I
why.
think, yeah, I think in high school I would have been more football, but if I was right now and I wanted to get into a sport and switch right now, I think I'd start, mixed martial arts, some MMA stuff.
Mhm.
I box a lot for cross training and stuff, and work in some different things and techniques, and I don't know, man, I think it's cool, and I'd love to get in there some days and fight somebody. So, yeah,
Definitely.
I'd say that's my sport.
Definitely. And what position in football do you think you would play?
I played receiver, and I was always an athletic kid. I'm a little longer, and I can move pretty well. So I think receiver would be my spot. That's where I think I'd go.
Mhm. And did you play football for a little bit or?
Yeah, I played football in elementary school and middle school,
Mhm.
and I mean I was good. I was a receiver and everything, but I broke my collarbone,
Yeah.
and when that happened, and then after that football season or whatever, I went on to Junior Olympics and do all that fun stuff. I got like second in the country, and then it was, man, I probably shouldn't play football anymore.
Yeah,
So
definitely. That was like that little
yeah, but
yeah,
if that wasn't there, I would have played, and I think I would have done pretty well. But yeah, I had to pick, and I was like, man, is it worth it? Nah. So I knew my ticket was track.
definitely. Well, Cade, thank you so much for hopping on
Yeah,
and
no
if you
problem.
ever
Thanks for having me.
Thank you everyone for watching. Till our next lap. See ya.
Appreciate it.